I'm just getting ready for my one-to-one with Jack, and I've got to share a bit of challenging feedback with him. I've not really had to do that before with him, so would appreciate your help just coaching me through that.
Absolutely. I'd be happy to help you with that. It's great that you're thinking about how to approach this conversation. Since you're following the Radical Candor framework, the key is to balance caring personally with challenging directly. A good way to start is by clearly stating your intention, so Jack knows that your feedback comes from a place of wanting to help him grow. Then be specific about the behavior or situation that needs improvement and explain the impact it has. Finally, invite Jack into the conversation by asking for his perspective and working together on a plan for improvement. If you have a specific scenario or type of feedback in mind, we can walk through it and craft some language that feels comfortable for you.
Yeah, it's basically some of his direct reports have fed back to me that he's maybe pushing a little bit too far, a bit more expecting too much of them, especially some of the newer starters. He's great. He runs one of our most successful sites, and so I don't want to squash that drive, but just trying to balance that with the feedback from the team.
Got it. That makes a lot of sense. It sounds like Jack's enthusiasm and high standards are definitely a strength, but balancing that with the needs of newer team members can be tricky. One way to approach it might be to acknowledge his strengths first, let him know that you appreciate his dedication and the positive impact he's having. Then you can gently bring up the feedback by saying something like, I've noticed how passionate you are about helping the team succeed, and that's fantastic. At the same time, some of the newer team members might need a bit more support or a different approach to help them get up to speed. That way, you're framing it as an opportunity for him to grow as a leader rather than something negative. Does
And
that
so,
sound like
sorry, yeah, sorry, just to jump in, but like when you look back at his performance review and our previous one-to-ones, is there anything that you can see kind of leading up to this?
looking back at Jack's previous one-to-ones and performance reviews, there's been a lot of positive progress, especially in his confidence and authority development. He has been working on building his leadership presence and has had some great breakthroughs, like handling crisis situations in the kitchen and standing his ground with more experienced team members, which is great. The feedback about his management style has generally been focused on him finding the balance between being assertive and supportive. Early on, there was a focus on helping him transition from being seen as a peer to being respected as a leader. This included setting clear boundaries and enforcing standards consistently. In terms of his expectations for the team, there hasn't been a specific pattern of him pushing too hard, but it's possible that as he's grown more confident, his standards have increased. This is a great opportunity to guide him on how to support newer team members while maintaining those high standards. It sounds like he's got a strong foundation, and a bit of feedback and coaching will help him strike that perfect balance.
Okay, so let me just have a little role play. So I'm going to sit down with Jack, and I'm going to say that things are going very well. Obviously, the site is performing strongly, but I do want to bring up some challenging feedback that I've received from members of the team, just about his nature of pushing and maybe expecting too much, and that we don't want to dampen that enthusiasm that he has, but this is part of developing as a leader, and that you've got to be able to bring everyone on the journey with you, rather than just storming off into the distance. How would you rate that?
I think that sounds really good. You're starting off on a positive note by acknowledging the success of the site, which sets a constructive tone. You're also framing the feedback in a way that highlights your belief in his potential as a leader. The idea of bringing the team along on the journey is a great metaphor, and it shows that you see his enthusiasm as a strength. I'd say it's a really solid approach. Just keep it conversational and encourage Jack to share his thoughts and ideas on how he can support the newer team members. It should lead to a really productive conversation.